A very serious good afternoon to everybody out there. I am Ansi XVII, and today I would like to discuss cancellations, death and mourning in our job. There are some things that are considered a taboo theme. I find it fascinating that we talk about our sex lives quite openly, but when it comes to the theme of death, there is a certain reticence. Now, death isn't just the physical death, obviously, we're talking about. Let us face cancellations, all the endless auditions we have to go to, like applying for a job, and you get a perpetual no. At the moment, we have this special situation that because of the coronavirus, nobody really knows what is going to happen tomorrow. This is our opportunity to prepare ourselves for the eventual deaths, which we will all experience. Nice to have something in common. Everybody needs to come to grips with death in the job, in personal relationships. When people lie to you and the trust is killed, it is just as much a serious death, and as such, I would say, should be mourned. Let us mourn the passing of trust and honesty. And so that I can get you in the mood for the serious mourning, confession, I burn many, many candles to see, and in this instance, smell that I am still alive and I know fabulous people. If you get a cancellation, please be courageous. There are many of us being cancelled and stabbed in the back. This is what life is about. Even before the coronavirus hit us and we tend to blame, this is happening because of corona, people were cancelled, people were fired. It is part of life and we have to get used to it. I have Richard with me, as you can see. What do you use to help keep you upright when you've had a recent death or serious disappointment in your life and you still have to go to work, pretend everything is absolutely fabulous? Anybody asks you, how are you doing at work? If you've had a recent death or disappointment, the only correct answer is rather fabulous, I would say. Now, obviously, we could use some props. If you don't have it yet, I suggest one pair of fun sunglasses, always in your handbag. So let us say you are in a rehearsal and a topic is discussed that really touches you to the very core of your being, and you just have to cry. Sometimes we are in a group of nice colleagues where we know, they know we all cry, I can cry all I want to. This is unfortunately not always the case. If you find yourself in a situation where the tears stream and nobody should know about it, do the standard Jackie Onassis, put on the glasses, and ladies and gentlemen, have the innocent white lies ready. Now, for me, the acceptable white lies about why are your eyes so red? It's not good to say you have pink eye or something that's contagious, because nobody's going to want to rehearse with you once you've confessed that you have pink eye. Allergies, very simple. I've come to the conclusion that all singers love comparing their allergies, and you all have these things that we have to compare. What do you take for it? What time of the year? And how does it influence your voice if you have the allergies? So there's no reason for other people to know that you are in mourning. I would suggest, practically thinking, to ask for compassion in a straightforward way. Like, for example, I had a very quick study in how to deal with mourning when I was at university. my first year at university, my grandmother, my beloved grandmother, passed away. And I asked very nicely, could I please go home? And the answer was, of course not. You are in the initiation phase. Very harsh no was handed to me at the age of 18. And I am to this day grateful for that very harsh no. So in the time I had that no, I had, as a very young student, concerts to play. I had to put myself through university. I still had to go do all the odd jobs that were necessary to keep me fed and keep me in the course at all. I mean, pay. It is kind of expensive to study music sometimes. So my suggestion, when you do have a phase of mourning, ask for the compassion. If you don't get it, find friends to cry with away from the job. If it is a death that really throws you off your rocker, there's nothing for it. One has to call in sick. That has to be done, especially if you're in a theatre where compassion isn't part of the atmosphere. Or let's forget compassion. Let's say basic humanity in some theatres are not on the menu. If you know this, it is way better to phone the theatre. I know this goes out in public, but we'll say it. The one thing you can always have is a migraine. So instead of going to a rehearsal and making everybody unhappy and crying all the time, have the migraine. I know many singers who can cry and rehearse. It's something you have to learn. Apropos cry and rehearse. If you have to sing a role where there is a lot of text about death, prepare all the sections where you will be singing about death extremely well in a rehearsal room. A very good example is in the Strauss opera Ariadne auf Naxos. Ariadne sings, O Todesbote, süß ist deine Stimme. O you messenger of death, how sweet is your voice. Practical suggestion, you go into a room with a pianist colleague who doesn't care about life in any case, and you sing all the sections that make you cry until you find the way technically that you can either sing through the tears. Some people are really capable of dealing with the tears, and their legato, the very famous legato, is not damaged by it, or making sure that if you have to sob, you sob in the rests or take the extra breaths so that the performance will keep on running. Mourning is a very healthy situation. That's why today is very short. I suggest to anybody watching this that you make yourself a little list of all the people you miss who are in heaven, as I choose to think of them, that you miss, that you haven't finished mourning for, and also on the list all the situations in your life where you've had very nasty cancellations or unprofessional behavior. If you are still feeling horrible about it, ladies and gentlemen, my opinion is you haven't done the proper mourning, and that is why today I'm wearing a hat. I put Richard in pink so he can make me feel better, to suggest to you, go forth and mourn until your legato is healthy again. Hoyoto ho!